All right, welcome back. Today we are doing cinnamon toast crunch macarons, and we're starting with 115 grams of sifted almond flour in the bowl here. Next thing we're going to add is 90 grams of powdered sugar. Let's zero out our scale. We'll get 90 grams in here. Okay. Then we're gonna take our pulsed crumbs here, Cinnamon Toast Crunch crumbs, and we're gonna sift these into our bowl. Dump that in there. And then let's see how much we get out of here. Should be about 20 grams or so. And there's 20 grams right there. Go a little over, 23 grams, that's good. All right, we're gonna set this aside, like I said, for decorating our macarons. Okay, next thing we got here is a little cinnamon. We're gonna do a little under a tablespoon of cinnamon, something like 3/4 of a tablespoon of cinnamon. Dump that right in there. Okay, next thing, whisk your ingredients together to get them well incorporated. So you're all ready for your egg to go in here in just a second. Okay, next we're gonna get our extra large egg white in the bowl here. Separate that egg white out from the yolk. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and now we're gonna gently just kind of work this egg white into the sifted ingredients here. After you get to about this point here, when your mixture's pretty much all worked in together, I like to ditch the bowl scraper and then just kind of work this around with my hand. It's a little easier to get that egg worked into everything if you can just press it and fold it. Just keep doing a little press and fold action here. That'll get everything worked in together real nice. And I mean real nice. There we go. It's looking great. Silly dogs are going crazy again over there playing. Okay, and there we have it. So there's our mixture, and now we just need to make our Italian meringue. Okay, while we're making our meringue, go ahead and throw some cling wrap right over the top of this batter so it doesn't dry out any further. Nice and protected, it'll stay more moist. Okay, for the Italian meringue, we're gonna start with 1/3 cup sugar and 2 tablespoons of water. Perfect. Then just give this a nice little mix around. Make sure all that sugar is kind of incorporated with the water. Keep the sides of your bowl nice and clean. Okay, while our sugar mixture is warming up over here, we're gonna get prepared with our egg white straight into our mixing bowl. All right, perfect. Awesome. Okay, our mixture sugar syrup here is starting to boil. Once this starts boiling all across the surface of the syrup here, I'm going to start a 2-minute timer, and that's generally going to get us to 245 degrees Fahrenheit on our sugar syrup, which is where we want to be at before we add it to the egg white. If you've got a candy thermometer, use it, but I know on my stove about 2 minutes gets us to 245, so I'm going to start my timer now. 2 minutes. Once we get to 1 minute, I'm going to come over here and start our KitchenAid to start whipping this egg white up. Get that nice and fluffed up before we start adding the sugar syrup to it. Okay, we've got 1 minute left on the timer here, so we're going to come over here and start this at number 6. And then when there's 30 seconds left, we're going to bump it up to number 8. You don't want to over-mix it, just enough. Okay, 32, 31. All right, bump it up to 8. And that's going to get all frothy while we wait on our sugar syrup to be to the proper temperature. Okay, timer's going off. It's looking good. Turn off our stove here. We're going to add our sugar syrup straight into our egg whites that have now been mixing a little bit. Nice and slow right down the side. Don't pour too fast or you're going to end up with some scrambled eggs. Just a nice steady slow stream right down the side of the bowl. Now, you're going to notice that the side of your bowl underneath is going to be super hot since we just poured our 245 degree sugar syrup in there. So this is going to mix until your bowl is cool to the touch, or at least lukewarm. And it takes about 5 minutes of mixing. So we'll check back in here in a few. Okay, it's been a few minutes. The bowl is lukewarm. Looks like it's done mixing, so let's turn it off. Pull that out, and then you should have, this is about the consistency you want your meringue. It's supposed to have that beak shape like that. That's like a perfect little eagle beak there, isn't it? Awesome. Okay, and now that our meringue is all done, we're gonna start incorporating it into our macaron mix here. So start with about the first third of this and just kind of work that in roughly. You can chop it, you can bite it, you can wrestle it, whatever you want to do, but just get it incorporated in there to lighten up your macaron batter here. It's going to make the folding process a lot easier if you can just lighten it up a little bit. Won't be so dense. Okay, once you're confident you've lightened it up and everything is incorporated well and you don't have any dense pockets of batter that aren't going to fully get incorporated with the other 2/3 of your meringue over here, then you're ready to get the rest of this put in the bowl here. Every last little annoying bit here. Never mind, that's good. All right. So now the process of folding begins. So my favorite technique is going to be through and around, through and around, through and around, through and around, and just continue that process for a couple minutes or until you're confident this is all incorporated. Scrape the bottom of your bowl every once in a while. Clean off your bowl scraper. Make sure that every last bit of this is getting incorporated. And gently just keep on folding this. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Now we're gonna get this into our piping bag here. Okay, so straight into the piping bag here. Right down the side. Right in there. Get all that macaron gold straight into your bag. All right, perfect. All right, about right there. Looks good. And then we're just gonna use a steady motion of squeeze and swipe, okay? Hold your bag at a 90-degree angle. Apply some pressure. Stop applying pressure and swipe. Apply some pressure. Squeeze, stop, swipe. Squeeze, stop, swipe. Squeeze, stop, swipe. Squeeze, stop, swipe. And just continue on with that process all the way through till your batter's gone. Okay, we're toward the end of our batter here. Squeezing our last couple out. After we're done getting these all piped out, we're gonna burp the babies. All right. Might have enough for one more up here. Let's try it. There we go. All right. That's gonna be our ugly duckling up there. Our spare tire if we need one, so to speak. All right, so I like to grab my pan, lift it up, get my palm under the pan, and then just gently, like I'm burping a baby, just give it a little tappy, tappy, tappy. That smooths the macarons out a little bit. Perfect. And now we're gonna go back to those pieces of the larger crumbs of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch that I told you to set aside for later. So what we're gonna do with these now is we're gonna sprinkle these over about half of our macarons, just the top pieces. We don't need crumbs on the bottom, but right over half of these. Just gives them a nice little crunch on top of the actual cereal. Okay, it's been about 45 minutes. These are dry to the touch, and I'm gonna put them in the oven now. 314 minutes. All right. All right. Timer's about to go off. Perfect. Let's see how they came out. Look fantastic. Very nice. You can really smell that cinnamon. They smell great. Okay, we're gonna let these cool and start making our filling for them, okay? Okay, so now that our macarons are nice and cool, we're gonna work on our filling here. We're starting with a half a teaspoon of cinnamon in our bowl. And then we've got our scales zeroed out here, and we're gonna do 1 ounce of cream cheese in there. I'm gonna estimate this. That's probably about 1 ounce, I'd guess. Whoops, we're on grams. 0.94 ounces. That was very close. All right. And 1.9, close enough. All right, cool. So we've got our 1 ounce of 1.09 ounces of cream cheese in there. Zero this back out. And we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of heavy cream now. There we go. 1/2 ounce. Okay, we've got our cream cheese, our heavy cream, and our cinnamon in the bowl here. We're just going to give that a good mix until this thickens up real nice. Start it real slow so you don't get any spraying all over the place. And bump it up a little higher. And you're going to see this thicken up real nice. Okay, now that that's whisked around with our mixer, we're going to add 6 tablespoons of butter. We're just going to mix that around as well. Get this all incorporated. Okay, now we're going to add 1/3 cup powdered sugar to that mix there. Give that a whisk. Start it low so you don't get a big dust cloud of powdered sugar everywhere in your kitchen. And then you can bump it up to high once this starts getting incorporated. There we go. Okay, get your bowl scraper and work down the sides here. Keep your bowl nice and clean. Nice tidy bowl. And let's give that one more good mix. Okay, now we are gonna add, so I've food processed about 1/2 cup of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. Got it into a nice kind of fine crumb here. We're just gonna add that straight in to our butter mix and fold that in nice and gently. Okay, now that we got this all mixed up, we're gonna transfer it to our piping bag. All right, perfect. Okay, so got my macarons all organized and assorted with their corresponding partner. Now we're just gonna pipe our filling onto each little half here. You don't need an overabundance of this, but make sure to put plenty of filling in there for all those cream lovers. You can put as much or as little as you want in. It's completely at your discretion. And then just keep going all the way through. Okay, we got our last couple getting filled here. And once we've got these all filled with our cream, we are just gonna match up the partner, smush it down, and set her back down. And continue on until these are all topped and looking great. Okay, we got these all topped nicely, and because these are a little bland in color, I always like to do a little drizzle of fine white chocolate over the top of them. So let's get started on that. So I just have 2 tablespoons of white chocolate in a bowl here, and I'm gonna microwave this for about 30 seconds. Okay, now that that's microwaved for 30 seconds, we're just gonna take a tiny little, like a 1/2 teaspoon of coconut oil, and stir that in there with it. Perfect. Then once you got that all mixed up, we're just gonna add that into this sandwich bag that I've got folded open here. So just dump that straight in there. This bowl is super hot. It is burning my hand while I am holding it, pouring. Yamahama. Okay. And we're gonna grab our baggie, squeeze all that white chocolate into one corner of it, and then we're gonna twist that around and do our little drizzle. Okay, so cut the finest little tip off of this thing. So just like the tiniest little, something like that. You didn't even see any plastic come off. That's how small it was. And our drizzle comes out that fine. Doesn't that look nice? So we're just gonna cover these all in a nice little drizzle, and that'll be that. And that is that. Now we let that cool and that white chocolate will harden, and we'll have ourselves fine looking cinnamon toast crunch macarons. Thanks for watching.